See you this week.
That's what Brett Favre did. Gathered and galvanized crowds. Kept them coming back for more. Headline after head-scratcher. Record breaker after laugh. A quarterback, but really a connector. Simply by always doing what he loved.
I mean, it's amazing what you've done in your career that'll never be done again, Brett. In this era, that'll never happen again.
When I hear icon, I tend to think not so much an athlete, more celebrity, singer, Bob Hope, Johnny Carson, Elvis, Michael Jackson. Crossed over to every genre, ethnic background, age group, didn't matter. However you capture that audience, that's what an icon to me symbolizes.
In 1992, NFL Films did their first interview with Brett Lorenzo Favre. The start of documenting one of the most colorful characters in football history.
I remember the hat. I just don't remember where it came from. What time flies, and how raw I was. Not that I'm polished by any means at this point in my life, but I cringe when I hear myself in those old interviews. I laugh, much like we do all of our pictures when you look back at high school, or you go, oh my God, what kind of haircut was that?
We're going to play a little name game. I'm going to throw out names of other quarterbacks. And I want you in just 10 or 12 words to say the first thing that comes into your mind, but without mentioning their names.
Brett Favre.
As can't see the pack because you live in Poughkeepsie, Poughkeepsie, Parsippany, whatever the hell it is. Every day of work to me was a good day.
Oh, I broke Barry's arm. Barry's hurt.
And I think it goes back to when I was a little kid. The only thing I dreamed of, there was two things. Number one was to play pro football. If that didn't work, then to play Major League Baseball. And there was no alternative. So when I got a chance to do that, never once did I take it for granted.
Every guy approaches a game or plays a game differently. You know, some bang their heads against the locker, some are quiet, they hide before a game, some have to get there 6 hours before, can't eat. I like to joke around, have guys feel relaxed.
Hey, you got any left-handed footballs? When you get a chance, I need a bucket of steam, too. I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
You know, I was never that way to win fans over. That's just the way I was. I mean, it's all about having fun anyway.
Keith Jackson. Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocca's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. She said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
He had 500 plus touchdown passes and more than 300 interceptions. He had 0 dull moments. It was all part of what made Favre one of the rare athletes who becomes bigger than life, valued as the face of his game, at home and abroad.
Brett Favre.
I always loved showing off my arm, especially in my early days. And this was an opportunity for me to show off my arm and have fun with it.
They took their supposedly the best receiver in Japan. They said, well, throw it like you would in the game.
The guys, they're saying, hey, not literally, but kill the guy. So that was right up my alley.
マミさん、あの缶を狙っていただきたいんですけど、大丈夫ですか？あれぐらいの距離。Try to knock the can off his hand. All right, are you ready? バッター動いてないよ。ロングパス、バッター取ったよ。
The arm was a blessing. The effort was a choice. Both were always full go.
First NFL completion, and it's to himself.
When the ball was tipped, all I could think about was, I'm catching it, I'm going to make a big play. So I go to the sidelines and Holmgren says, what in the hell do you think you were doing? And I said, I really thought I was going to score. And I was serious.
You're sure?
Why did he?
You know, I don't look at it as, okay, I'm going to this game, everything's going to be perfect. If I get rushed, I'll just throw it away. You make most of your big plays when you leave the pocket.
And he is caught from behind, got away. Still, touchdown!
I've always prided myself on knowing before I go into a game that there's going to be times where a guy breaks free. You know, as great as our offensive line is, somebody's going to break free. The guys across them are pretty good. So what do you do next?
Comes back inside. Favre is running. Favre has a touchdown.
I was naive, but that served me very well. I knew I could buy myself time with my legs, and my arm would bail me out, and that I could learn as I go.
That's some classic Favre right there. You always kind of, when you stepped up, it's like you
I'm building momentum.
hit the hand. I love it.
I think with Brett Favre, the way he throws the ball so hard, it doesn't stay in the air very long. I think everyone's open.
In traffic. I don't know. Right between two defenders.
Maybe I was throwing the ball about 100 miles faster than I should have been because the guy was like right there, and I knew Holmgren was going to chew me out. But I kind of always wanted to have this wow factor when I threw the ball.
Now you all right? Yeah. No more rocket balls, please.
Mike Holmgren was a first-time head coach when he was handed the task of taming Favre.
Take the switch. Put in the other quarterback. Come on. Wait a minute. But, no, wait a minute. But you know what? He's got to know he's out here, okay?
That offense is like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? There's like 1,000 plays you could go in every game with.
Red leg slot. If they hug us up now, we'll go back to the backside. Don't see any ghosts out there, though. He's all over the joint here. Hey, will you settle down, please? Just settle down, nice and easy. Settle down, okay?
The newspapers would say things, talk radio, whatever. I was convinced Brett was the guy that was going to take us to wherever we're going to go. And I said, look, forget about all that. You and I are joined at the hip. And we're either going to get to the top of the mountain together or we're going to wind up in a dumpster. But it'll be together. You got to commit.
How about ball was in a slot pass 360 Omaha. Make it happen.
And I committed to him. And then he just continued to get better and better and better.
All right. It's a tough place to get the ball.
Favre was never one to rattle easy. Not before or after his 16 seasons with the Packers. Especially not at the end of games.
Shot right open. Touchdown. Sterling shot open. He got away with 55 seconds left.
The good ones, you'll find, want the ball at the end, want to be at the plate. You know, down by 2, bases loaded. 2 outs.
You always hear the point guard who wants the basketball, like Larry Bird wants it at the end of the game. That's kind of the situation that I'm in, or I feel like I want to be in.
Just like my first home game with the Vikings, I think about that one more than most. A lot of hype, a lot of expectations, high expectations from a lot of people upon our team, mainly because I had joined the team.
Leaping catch, Vernon Davis, touchdown, Niners!
I need a touchdown to win. You got it? All bets are off. Go win it.
I got in the huddle, and Anthony Herrera, a right guard, looks at me, and he says, "This is why we got you number 4." And I thought to myself, and I was like, all right, thinking to myself, damn, couldn't it go a little bit easier in my first home game?
Come on, Brett!
We have no timeouts left. Favre back to pass, looks right, pass is caught. Sidney at the 42, 33 seconds to go. Favre takes the snap, rolls out to the right, fires over the middle, caught, first down, but the clock is working against us. Third down, 12 seconds to go in the game, Niners lead by 4. Favre back to pass, pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure. Fires to the end zone.
Working out, sometimes it doesn't work out, is because I have envisioned that drive or drives like it. I can't tell you many times. I'm a firm believer, and as my college offensive line coach once told me the term psycho-cybernetics, which I thought, the hell is he talking about? Seeing yourself making the play over and over again will serve you well in a game. Look, I'm 17 years old. I thought this guy's a wacko. But later on in my career, I found myself doing that a bunch. I realized the expectation level was at an all-time high. But I wanted the ball, and I think all successful players want that opportunity at the end of the game to prove what they can do.
Thanks, Jeff. I don't know they have snakesies up in here.
Well, they have snakes here?
Full of them.
Where we're sitting, there's snakes.
Oh, yeah.
So, what kind of snakes?
Moccasin.
Well, those things are poisonous too, aren't they?
Yeah, they won't hurt you too bad.
Did you ever get bit by one of them?
No, but my younger brother's friend, his daughter got bit last week.
Here? By a snake?
No, but somewhere around here.
Now, where are we?
We're in Hancock County, which is the county right next to Louisiana, in the bottom left-hand corner of Mississippi. And this is called Rotten Bayou, which is like a little...
So we're sitting on the dock of the bay by Rotten Bayou?
Yeah.
Why did you get that name? I'm afraid to ask. But your dad says you fish here.
Yeah.
What do you catch?
Catch bass, perch, catfish, alligators, gars.
So there's alligators in here too,
yeah. Right? You're down south, Steve.
It's not New Jersey. Listen, no, I know. This is so backwoods. Maybe even more than the NFL sending him overseas, it was a sign of Brett Favre's stardom when the world started descending on his hometown. Before then, Kill, Mississippi wasn't widely known outside of, well, Kill, Mississippi. That all changed the more times this one man and his family took the stage.
My dad was a high school football coach well before I was born. I was always a manager, a ball boy, water boy, whatever. So that was all I knew.
Second group, let's go.
And looking back, I know that he was much tougher on me than the other kids.
If you get hurt, you crawl off the field. When you can't crawl off the field, I'll come get you. It wasn't nothing for me to pick up a belt, pick a board up and wear somebody's behind out.
I wouldn't trade the way I was raised, because when I got in front of other coaches, they were tough, but you know, it was like,
At least I don't have to eat supper with him, you know. I mean, it doesn't get any tougher than that. We didn't throw the ball very much as a high school football team, so my dad had to fight recruiters to come take a look at me.
I really think I can play as far as size, and I think I got the good arm, and I think if they give me a shot, I think I can do it for them.
Southern Mississippi, 2 days before the signing date, gave me a call and said the guy that they had wanted backed out and went to school in Florida, that now they had an opening for me.
Well, we'll see in the coming years who's the best quarterback, and I think
Southern Miss put a freshman in at quarterback, Brett Favre, and Favre shows some cool on this one, finding Chris McGee for the touchdown.
He's a 17-year-old boy coming into the game. He's a true freshman, and probably the most exciting thing that I've ever had happen to me when you see your own child going a game like that do so well.
Heading into his senior season, Favre was a Heisman hopeful until a car accident threatened his life.
I remember sticking a tube in my nose. I'm wide awake, blood's gushing out of my nose. And they said, we got to have emergency surgery. 30 inches of your intestines has died, and we have to take it out now.
I'm in so much pain right now, I can hardly raise out of this bed.
I don't think there was a time after the car wreck that I personally thought I wouldn't play. Everyone else thought I wouldn't play.
Our first game was against Terr Ste here, which was a month after my surgery. I didn't even dress for the game. The following week we played Alabama, and I said I'm playing. With my dad coaching football and being around my two brothers and always competing against each other, none of us ever wanted to be the one to give in. We never would hold up the white flag, and that's the way I play football.
We want to get this cleared now. Brett Favre will start.
A uniform, which fit me before, sagging off of me. I'm like, which one of the linemen's jockstrap did I get? I mean, I was just shriveled up.
He don't even look tired. He don't look like a man that's had 30 inches of small intestines removed.
The Southern Mississippi Eagles upset Alabama 27-24.
I think the car wreck was really what kind of started the toughness of this guy, his resiliency, and this is the kind of guy you want to be in a foxhole with.
The Falcons liked enough of what they saw in Favre to spend a second-round pick on him. A year later, Favre had played in 2 NFL games and completed 0 passes. Yet the Packers traded Atlanta a first-round pick for him. How timely the deal proved that very first season in Green Bay, when Pro Bowl quarterback Don Majkowski went down, and in came the Mississippi Kid with alligator blood.
All right, well, you got a minute 7. You still got a chance. If you score a touchdown and an extra point, you could win it 24-23.
So I'm coming in, most of the people looking at the program going, who in the hell is this guy now? How do you pronounce his name? They allowed me to just kind of gunsling a little bit and just do what I do best.
I got my job because the guy in front of me got hurt and gave me an opportunity. I'm sure Don was thinking, we'll take home for him to screw it up, which would have been a very good bet, and I'll be back in there. Well, that never happened. I didn't want to ever give anyone else an opportunity to do what I had done. The next guy comes in, even if I'm playing at the top of my game, I get hurt, I'm out 2 games, and this guy plays lights out. start questioning, do we want to make a switch?
And that's one tough SOB playing quarterback for the Green back.
I don't know if I wanted to be necessarily a tough guy. I wanted to play, and that meant playing through injuries.
Favre became a fixture, and the Packers became a power. For 3 hours on game day, Favre could handle anything. The real problems came off the field, as Favre developed an addiction to the painkiller Vicodin.
And at first I used it for pain. And after a while I used it for recreation. And I knew that was wrong. Eventually that'll land you in jail if it doesn't kill you.
Voluntarily I'm going to admitting to a in-treatment facility for however long it takes to get better. And my objective is to get better so I can continue to play at a level that I have.
I went to rehab in Topeka, Kansas, the Menninger Clinic. I was there for 75 days. I thought I had it all figured out. I fought them. That's why I was there 75 days. At 28 days, they were like, you ain't going nowhere. And I said, bull, I'm going somewhere. And the league said, if you don't stay, you don't play. So I stayed.
Favre made progress with his substance issues, but it was a process. The kind that lasts years.
I said, I quit. I have not taken pain pills, but I'm drinking. And I'm not drinking all the time, but I knew I had a problem because it was what I did when I drank. The choices I made. And I went back to rehab for alcohol to show everyone that I was serious. But I was not going to drink again, and I haven't taken a drop since 1998.
During these same years of struggle, Favre won his 3 MVPs and the Super Bowl in New Orleans, 60 miles from where he was raised. When such extreme emotions are happening so close together, it can be hard to manage. Sometimes a game can help.
He's throwing it downfield. He's got it wide open. It's going to be a touchdown line. Look at Brett Favre coming off the field. He is so happy. Yes, touchdown. Brett Favre does get the end zone. Brett has had a receiver open twice on chases of plays. This time he's going to go long upfield. They're wide open for Freeman. Down the sideline. He's all the way. A long pass play. A perfect throw by Brett Favre. And now maybe it's over.
All he'd ever wanted was to play. Soon, it seemed like he might play forever, thanks to an NFL record streak of consecutive starts.
And that is a remarkable achievement, especially the way he plays.
Shit, my two's right there, didn't I? Yeah, you did. I was a pitcher. I built a 15-day DL.
It's not that I didn't hurt. It's not that I didn't get hurt. It's not that I didn't have injuries that should have kept me out of games, because I did.
We were playing the Rams in St. Louis. I broke my thumb on my throwing hand. Only broken bone ever. I'm so drained right now.
In 6 weeks you'll be ready to go. And I said, I want to play. He said, you can't play, you got a broken thumb. I said, I played in this game, which I did. I completed the game. He said, yeah, but you didn't know it was broken. I said, good point. And I said, can I try? And he said, well, if you go too long without having the surgery, then you can't repair it. It's going to mend as is. I said, well, let me try it. It hurt like hell when I took a snap, but I was able to play. But I ended up playing that 9-game stretch with a broken thumb.
history tonight. Quarterback Brett Favre starts his 200th consecutive game behind center.
If people call that the Iron Man, if they call it, Mike Homer's favorite term was John Wayne. He called me John Wayne. You don't have to be John Wayne. You don't have to be John Wayne. But I think that's the thing I'm most proud of in my career. And that may or may not surprise people, but the reason that I'm most proud of that, it symbolizes a couple things. That I play through pain, and that you know, that may come back to haunt me at some point in my life, and that you know, it is what it is. It can't be undone. But I knew that when I was playing. I knew that this repercussions could be there later on. But it meant that the guys, the team, the organization could rely on me week in and week out. Secondly, it means that I was good enough, consistently enough, that they never pulled me, which is equally as important as the toughness factor. You know, if you suck, I don't care how tough you are, you're not going to play that many games. Yeah, you know, my career wasn't perfect, wasn't near as polished as, you know, say Aaron, Mahomes, Brady. But it was good enough that I was in the lineup for 19 straight years. I think that says a lot.
Enduring pain took on new meaning for Favre late in the 2003 season, when his father, Big Irv, died suddenly of a heart attack.
I mean, I rode in the truck with my dad long enough to know what he was feeling and what he would be thinking and what he would be saying.
Get your ass out there and play. Are you crazy? And I could see him saying that.
If you get hurt, you crawl off the field. When you can't crawl off the field, I'll come get you.
So vital game tonight for Green Bay, and clearly without question, the most difficult start of Brett Favre's illustrious career.
How Brett Favre is going to be able to handle this, I have no idea.
When they called my name out and I run onto the field, I get a standing ovation from Oakland fans. And as you know, Oakland fans are not the nicest fans. That gave me goosebumps. Secondly, I thought it was important that I play because we needed to win this game in order to get in the playoffs. We knew had we lost, it was over. And I knew my dad would say, well, hell, you can't play if you can't play to win. I mean, just play and just for my sake, don't do it.
So under tremendous emotional duress, Brett Favre goes to work.
In a stirring tribute to his roots, Favre played like he had wings. He threw for 399 yards and 4 touchdowns in a Green Bay win before a primetime audience.
I believe in God, born and raised Catholic, never really considered myself overly spiritual. If there was ever divine intervention, he was there that night. Because under the perfect circumstances, I've never been able to do what I've done that game.
I knew my dad would want me to play, and you know, I love him so much and love this game, and it's meant a great deal to me, to my dad, and to my family, and I didn't expect this type of performance, but I know he was watching tonight.
He didn't ask for much, at least not to me. I think he asked for a truck one time, which I had no problem with. He wanted some cows. I got him some cows. Other than that, he was pretty simple. Now, he never said to me anything about the Hall of Fame, but he told my wife that was his goal, was to introduce me at the Hall of Fame. Obviously, that didn't happen, so if I had one opportunity to say something or have him back, it would be to do that.
The last high school football game of my high school career, I overheard my father talking to the 3 other coaches, and he said, I can assure you one thing about my son. He will play better. He will redeem himself. I know my son, he has it in him. And I never let him know that I heard that, but I never forgot that statement. And I want you to know, Dad, I spent the rest of my career trying to redeem myself. But I spent the rest of my career trying to redeem myself and make him proud. I hope I succeeded.
By their late 30s, most NFL quarterbacks are holding clipboards on the sideline, and those still on the field can be hard to watch. Late-stage Brett Favre was the exact opposite. Nearly impossible to look away.
You're holding it more in the middle. You're going to be onto the field. Hold it a little more back.
Okay. Nope. Like only the rarest performers, Favre remained a must-see attraction right through his final act.
How much is Tom Brady worth?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know you're worth like $33,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
How old were you when Aaron got drafted?
35.
Oof.
Same as this year.
35? Really? That's so weird because I'm 31. It seems like you were an old man at 35.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You sound like the media. I knew full well that someday it would end. I'm not going to say the Packers didn't want me at that time, but they were ready to move on. Put her in the old vice. And I had my best year ever, statistically, that last year in Green Bay, so I didn't help them very much from a decision standpoint. So the best thing that could happen is I retire. Well, we all know what happened. I decided to come back.
March 17th, I came in here and was told I was going to be the guy. But until a decision is finally made, as far as I know, I'm the starter, and that's my focus, and that's what I'm going to stick to.
I'm not good enough to play for you, but I'm too good to play against you. That's the mentality. Because they were not going to let me go to anyone within the conference or a rival.
The relationship got to a point where it couldn't go forward. And I don't try to blame either side. It's like a marriage that ends. It happens, and neither party is at fault.
The way it all shaked out motivated me that I knew I wasn't playing in Green Bay. So I'm going to prove to you I can still play. And I wanted to play against the Packers.
1 year after the Packers traded him to the Jets, Favre became a free agent, and he got his wish by signing with the Vikings, who play Green Bay twice each season.
I was kind of burnt out on football when I left the Jets, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know if I had a lot of juice, but I felt like if I didn't give it one more shot, especially the fact that I had a chance to play against the Packers, that I was going to always regret it. Hey, it doesn't matter where you get motivation from. The fact is, I got motivation, and I was determined to prove them wrong. I was so frightened of failing.
Inside the 5, touchdown! 3 touchdowns tonight for Brett Favre against his former team.
I thought after the first game, I thought, all right, okay, butterflies are gone. I kind of gotten back to reality. When I go to Lambeau, it's going to be easy. Wrong.
These fans poured their heart and soul into Brett Favre, and he betrayed them by leaving and going and playing for their enemy. He had no idea how bad it divided this community and how bad it hurt a good portion of Packer fans when he strapped on that purple and gold.
Man, I was was just a rep. I didn't think it would be a good reception, and it was worse than that.
I went from the most beloved to the most hated person in the building. Rightfully so.
It just made the way I played even sweeter.
The ultimate nightmare for a Packer fan. Brett Favre has 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions this year against his former team.
For so long, we were a part of that community, and we cared about that community, and we were there for so long. It was almost like a family split.
You know, I don't blame the Packers at all for a lot of things. What I did in Green Bay, I think speaks for itself, and I'm happy with it. And the fans are happy with it, then that's all I need. I don't need, if they're okay, they're happy, then I'm happy.
Green Bay fans' true feelings for Favre were evident when the team retired his jersey number. There was no game played at Lambeau that day, just a quarterback and an audience 70,000 strong. For many years, in many places, Favre was a main attraction, especially among young football players. You wonder if some were taking notes.
We got some cheeseburgers and half, dude. The locker room.
Can't wait to go home and have a nice hamburger.
My head's getting bigger. These hats are getting smaller.
Shut up. You know what I just realized? You have a tiny head.
Boy, I could sure use a hot dog or chili.
Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I might have to stop on the way home.
Look at the magic of the quarterback. No luck. You know what? That's Mr. Pat. Mahomes right there.
I told you.
He shoveled the ball forward as he was going down. What a play by Brett Favre. It's not even like a throw. It's like a chest pass from basketball.
You just don't see it.
Favre is back in the pocket. Favre looking as he runs to the left. Now throws sidearm downfield. Touchdown! And Darrell Thompson is tackled in the end zone by Brett Favre.
That's the best tackle of the day.
Baker Mayfield went so far in channeling Favre that leading up to the 2018 NFL Draft, he reenacted the scene from Favre's house on draft day in 1991.
Why Brett Favre for the draft photo? Brett's the man. He was my guy growing up, but it's just, it's an epic picture.
Who was your idol growing up?
I was a big fan of Brett Favre. Loved watching him play.
You know, I grew up watching Favre. You know, I grew up watching him, so I'm as big as a fan, you know, of his than, you know, the people that's from Green Bay that's been watching him all his life.
You know, I was born in Wisconsin, so I got to watch Brett play a long time, and he's always been one of my favorite players, just kind of the joy that he always played with. I feel like we're kind of similar in that regard, and just being able to talk to him is just kind of an honor.
Did you break a sweat growing up, watching him sling the football around, and then being able to go out and try to do some of the things that he did? I mean, this is a surreal moment for sure.
What he said, try, Peter. he does.
Have you watched a lot of other quarterbacks? If stuff doesn't happen the exact right way, it's like it's almost a dead play. And with Brett, it's about going out there and giving their guys chances to make plays. And so as I kind of grew up among playing football, when I scrambled, I'm not the fastest guy, so I'm not gonna be running with the ball. I'm gonna go throw it to those playmakers, give them a chance, and trust what I see. I think that's another big thing is he's never scared to make a throw, and so I'm the same way. If I think I can get it in there, I'm gonna make that throw, and hopefully it works out.
I think it's pretty cool that you've made an impact or have sort of paved the way or steered the way for the next generation from a style perspective. I guess I think about it in the sense that when I was a kid, my idol was Roger Staubach and Archie Manning. And after every game, me and my brothers would go outside, and I was Roger Staubach, I was Archie, I was running around. Of course, when I was playing, I certainly didn't think about, okay, what about the young kids watching me play? Maybe I'll do an underhand.
A quarterback that drew crowds. A player who links generations. An original. That was Brett Favre. Always worth the watch.
As I think back, what I think about most has nothing to do with statistics. Although, who would have ever thought that a young man from Kittle, Mississippi, whose father ran the wishbone, would hold every passing record in NFL history at one time.
Boy can still swing it, dude.
But that's not what makes me most proud. What makes me most proud is how I played the game.
I just played the game the only way I knew how, and I had fun. You never knew what to expect, but that's football. If you knew what to expect every week and that's what you got, it would be pretty boring. And I never wanted it to be boring.